Hello and welcome to another episode of Frog Collects. Today, we are finally getting to something that I mentioned a long time ago and forgot about. Alright, so I was watching back in my other episodes and I realized I showed this deck and never got around to opening it or talking about it at all. So, I'm sorry, I'm back. I will present the Pokemon Break Through Burning Spark theme deck. So this deck is really cool because it has Raichu. So let's open it up and take a look at what's inside. So it has the standard playmat thing no one uses, the damage counters, which are used by those who don't have the awesome ones, or a dice. Once again, another checklist to make sure you got all the breakthrough cards, and the coin is pretty cool. Mega Mewtwo. I think this is Y, maybe X. No, this is Y. Anyway, it's got a cool little purple tint to it, which is really nice. I like it. Now let's take a look at Raichu. So this is a holo Raichu, HP 90. This one's pretty cool, pretty useful I would say, especially for people coming up against a lot of EX Pokemon. Thunder Shot. This attack does 50 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon EX. So if you've got Pokemon on the bench, or your opponent has EX Pokemon on the bench, this does 50 damage to all of them. And Electro Smash, it potentially does 90 damage. So it's great. Only downside is this Raichu has only 90 HP. So it's got one major flaw, that it could be killed in one shot with an EX Pokemon. But it's still pretty good because there are methods around keeping it safe. So I'm going to set this aside and let's open it up and take a look. What's inside? Okay, so those of you who've ever opened a theme deck, they pre-randomize the entire deck. Pre-shuffle. I like to go through and unshuffle it, put it in order. Here's a look at the box, just in case you wanted to see that. It's a lovely box. Very shiny. So if you want to keep your deck in that, more power to you. Okay, so first off, we have energies. Let's pull all those aside. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 electric. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fire. So we can guess we need more electric energy because the theme is, the mascot of this deck is Pikachu. Raichu, actually. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the first couple of Pokemon. So we've got Cyndaquil. Cyndaquil's pretty good. Got good stats, so we've got 60 health. For 2 energies, you can do 30 damage, though you do discard fire type energy. But if we move on to Quilava, we've got 2 of these. Quilava is a little bit stronger and could potentially do 60 damage if you happen to discard a fire type energy when you use that attack. So there you have that. Here is a filler Pokemon to fill in the spaces when you don't have the exact Pokemon you need. Fury Swipes. Flip 3 coins. His attack does 10 damage times the number of heads. So that's actually pretty good. I mean, he's got 60 health. Could potentially do upwards of 30 damage. But if you get 0 heads, I believe he does 0 damage. So, downside. Finnegan. Looks like we've got a couple starter Pokemon in this deck. This one only has 50 HP. Fire Breathing. Flip a coin, this head does... If heads, this attack does 30 more damage. With relatively no downside, which is pretty good. So we could potentially do 40 and that is nice. We've got 3 of those. Then we've got Braixen. Braixen? Flamethrower. You discard an energy card. So this has a downside, but it's pretty powerful for a stage 1 Pokemon. 70 damage. Pretty good. If you have energy retrieval or any other sort of ways of retrieving energy that are in the discard pile, it might not be so bad. Alright, Dedenne. Eating his fruit, he's so happy. Thundershock. Flip a coin of heads, your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed. So this is a good Pokemon to send out. First off, though the likelihood of getting him is low because there's only one. Just one in the deck. So he's kind of a utility card. It's like, I don't have anything, so I'm just going to toss him out there and hopefully he does his job. Now we're getting into the mascot of the deck. This Pikachu is so cute. Pika! He can gnaw at you and he can use agility. Once you get 2 energies on him, there's no reason to not use agility, because if you flip a coin and it's heads, all effects from attacks, including damage, done to this Pokemon during your opponent's next turn are nullified. So it prevents all of those effects. So basically, there's a potential that this Pikachu will be immune to all damage, which is awesome. So it's a good starter Pokemon. A good Pokemon to send out first, because then you can just keep chipping away, and then eventually you'll get your Raichu. Oh, there's 3 of those, by the way. You'll get your Raichu. We'll bring Raichu. Hello. Up to here. We already talked about what Raichu does. So, good defense against EX Pokemon. Boom. But he's not the only electric in this deck. We've got Magnemite. Shock Generator. Flip a coin of heads. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed. So we've got some more utility in paralyzing, disabling your opponent. And then Lightning Ball for 20 damage. It's alright. Then we move on to Magneton. Magneton has the move Electro Ball, which is a 70 damage attack. Discard an unenergy attached to this Pokemon. So this deck is full of energy discarding mechanics. So it definitely needs a method of getting energies back from the discard pile. So anyway, let's move on to Magnezone. And here we go. Magnetic, I can pronounce words, I promise. Magnezone, magnetic circuit as often as you like during your turn. Before you attack, you may attach an energy card from your hand to one of your Pokemon. So this only puts energy cards that are in your hand, but if you've been discarding, your discard pile is pretty full. So far, no redeeming qualities. Stunfisk. Look at him, he's so flat. Looks weird. He's got Revenge. If any Pokemon were knocked out by damage from your opponent's attack during his or her last turn, this attack does 80 more damage. So this Pokemon can do 100 damage if you switch him in and then attack immediately after a knockout. But you have to have the 2 energy on him first, obviously. Or 1 energy. Put another one on him, and then boom, 100 damage. Which is pretty nice. But then for the 1 more energy, you can do 80 damage, but you must discard an energy. Once again, more discard. Oh, my goodness, Dedenne has reappeared. Guess I didn't sort the deck quite as well. He's back. Hello! Alright, then our normal type Pokemon. We've got Smeargle, which is probably you need to have more than 1 Smeargle in this deck, because this Smeargle is wonderful. It says once, here look at the Smeargle, sorry. His ability is once during your turn you may switch a basic energy card attached to your active Pokemon with a different type of basic energy card from your discard pile. So it's not exactly a retrieve energy, but it does make it so that, let's say you attach a fire energy to an electric Pokemon. If this guy's sitting on your bench, you can swap it out for an electric one, giving him the energy he needs. So it's kind of okay, but we'll see how it actually plays out when I test it. So the duel, probably seen him before, not too bad. The draw 2 cards is excellent for sending him out first. Get your hand full of useful cards. Double stab. Flip 2 coins, attack does 10 damage times the number of heads. Times is much better than plus, maybe. We'll find out. Then they evolve into Dodrio. Dodrio's pretty good. If you have him sitting on your bench, he makes it so that all your Pokemon can retreat with 2 less cost. So if it costs 3, the retreat cost with Dodrio on your bench is only 1. Much better, I think. It's more of a utility than an actual card you want to play in battle. Just makes it easy to switch out your Pokemon. So very interesting. Now we'll get into the Pokemon supporter, trainer cards, and so forth. And hopefully there are some ways to retrieve our energy that we have frivolously thrown away into the garbage. So we've got Fisherman. Put 4 basic energy cards from your discard pile into your hand. Ta-da! Fisherman is the redeeming thing in our deck. Though it would be nice to have more than just one, but there's only one so far. Let us continue. Giovanni's Scheme. Draw 5 cards until you have, or draw cards until you have 5. Or, during your turn, your Pokemon's attack do 20 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. So, some options. Retrieving energy cards with Professor's Letter. Reserve Ticket, basically putting a card you want at the top of the pile if you win the coin toss. Skyla. Search your deck for trainers, so if you get her instead of the Fisherman, you can put the Fisherman in your hand. Super Rod. Let's see what this does. Shuffle 3 in any combination of... What? Shuffle 3 in any combination of Pokemon and basic energy cards from your discard pile into your deck. So this is a little less useful than Fisherman, because you just put them back into your deck. But you get 3 energy cards back. So there's a card that helps us get stuff back, which is good. Okay, next we have Pokemon Center Lady. We know what this one does. She heals our Pokemon and removes all stats. Search your deck for 2 basic Pokemon, draw 3 cards. Switch Pokemon, kind of silly if you have Dodrio out, but that's alright. Don't worry about that too much. Because maybe you don't have Dodrio out and you need to switch a Pokemon for cheap, and you don't want to throw away a card. There's that for you. Wally, search your deck, evolve a Pokemon. Wonderful. So there you are. There is the overview of what is in the deck. Now I will go and play it and find out how good it is, and hopefully put up some video of that. But anyway, that is the Pokemon Breakthrough. Whoops. Burning Spark deck. Pretty cool. Seems like it has potential. I would probably put in 1 or 2 more Fishermen because of all the discard mechanics. And there's some other things that could probably change, but we'll find out more. Thanks again for watching. Be sure to subscribe, like, comment on the video on what card you like best in this deck, and come back for more. Thanks again for watching. Good night.